Yes, everybody, right to the West End Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. If you're new around here, you know what to do. We've got the Trevor Brooking charity signed shirt raffle. That's going to be closing tomorrow evening, so make sure you get your tickets. £5 entry, and all the entry money goes to the Lexi Fund. So when we do raffles, we usually obviously pay for the shirt, take that out, and anything else when we give to Derek. This isn't the case. It's all been, we've donated the shirt to the charity. So make sure you get involved there and help out a very sick little girl. But it is the Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. We did a morning show talking about some of the players we've been linked to. A lot of players have been linked to, over 200. Yes, someone's asked to see the list. I will show you the list tomorrow. I promise you, I will show the list tomorrow. No doubt we'll be linked with a few more people in the next 24 hours. And then this afternoon, I spoke about Jacob Ramsey and how maybe West Ham's shirt sponsor next year should be lastminute.com, not Boyle Sport, as it seems we'll be waiting to the last possible minute to try and nab Jacob Ramsey. I think it's a bit of a risky thing. Anyway, let's talk players. Let's talk about players leaving. As today the club officially announced 2 players were leaving, one significant from West Ham men's and one significant from West Ham women's as well. So I thought we'll cover both of them. Obviously, the club announced around, I think about midday, 11:30, something like that, officially that they wouldn't be offering Muel Antonio a new playing contract. Now, in terms of the actual wording, I think we all assumed it was going to happen, particularly with the signing of Callum Wilson, very much taking that that position in the squad. Indeed, it's funny enough, I actually about a couple of hours ago, I had a chat with a very prominent West Ham former player who basically said it was a real shame about Antonio, particularly as that former West Ham player. I think he's still a coach in the Jamaican national team, so would have worked first hand with Antonio, which is why it makes sense now why he mentioned it to me. So yeah, it is a shame. He's it's the last of the bowling boys, as we said when we had an interview, a chat with Tim Crane, the sort of West Ham historian who's currently writing a book at the moment. 10 years, 323 appearances, 83 goals, Premier League top scorer, our Premier League top scorer. And yeah, the last of the boys to have played in the West Ham shirt at the bowling, with him and Krez both leaving this summer. His contract expired in June. West Ham were still allowing him, so to speak, to train, and they just delayed making the decision on whether or not a deal was on the table or not, while obviously his rehabilitation was going on. Obviously, he broke his leg, didn't play the rest of the season from December. But he came back for the friendly against Boreham Wood, scored 2 goals in the first half. What was interesting was the paragraph in that official statement, which basically said that dialogue continues over his future involvement with the club in an alternative capacity, including one that would help enable others to benefit from his experience and leadership qualities. He will forever hold a special place in our 130-year history. That role has... Well, there's several roles that it could be. One could be moving into a coaching role, potentially. We've got a number of coaches, particularly in the academy, who are former West Ham players. It's headed up by Kenny Brown. And then you've got Kevin Keane, you've got Mark Robson, Steve Potts, you've got Zavon, you've got Colton, who's involved in loans, sort of management side of the business. You've got Freddie Sears is in there as well. So, they have all these different... So that could be an option. Obviously, you've got Mark Noble there, who's sort of pathway director, I sort of call him. That's his sort of main role is. So that could be something. So rather than sort of an ambassadorial role, somewhere within the coaching staff, I think could be an interesting one. But we'll keep that sort of open, that door. We're led to believe that there were several other it was alleged that there was other often the same for other clubs. So, obviously now he's free to pursue those if they come to fruition. We shall wait and see. But we wish, obviously, Mickey all the best in his future endeavours, whatever he chooses to do. I mean, one option was going to the US, particularly, the MLS with all the stuff. Obviously, Son's gone over there now, and there's a massive interest in America for football, for soccer, because the World Cup coming in 2026. Although, if you see the interview on his press conference for Human Sons, LAFC press conference, the woman doing it assumes it sounded like she assumed he was going to play for the United States in the World Cup. Or something like that. I don't think she knew how it really worked. But we'll keep an eye out. Obviously, we know Vladimir Sufal signed for Hoffenheim. Also, former West Ham goalkeeper Nathan Trott of Copenhagen. He's moved to a season on loan to Cardiff City as well. Another name who's left, and again, a poignant name because she's a massive West Ham fan, is Dagny. She's officially left following the expiration of a contract. 33-year-old Icelandic international made 87 appearances over a 4.5-year spell, the club's fourth highest WSL appearance holder, and was captain as well. She was quoted as saying, "Wearing the claret and blue has been the greatest honour of my life, and something as a little girl growing up in Iceland, supporting West Ham is something I could only dream about doing. Now this chapter has come to an end. I can look back on it with real pride. I think the club is in a better place now, and I'm proud of the role that I've played." So obviously during her time, she had, she was, I think, Ham of the Year as well. She also had a child, and she balanced motherhood with her playing career as well. And we wish Dagny the very best in what she does. She's a West Ham fan as well, so it's not, she played for her girlhood club. It's not a boyhood club, a girlhood club. So yes, and we wish her all the best. Now let's talk about transfers. Let's talk about rumours. Let's talk about players coming in. Now the name that's probably the most likely to come in the next 48 hours is Victor John. The Botafogo 29-year-old Brazilian goalkeeper. Now, an interesting article by the Botafogo manager, Ancelotti, son of Carlos, revealed that he basically has already sent his well wishes. He's basically kicked him out the door already, saying, we know the situation, and he's had a great, can't thank him enough for his time at Botafogo and stuff. As mentioned this morning, he wasn't in the recent, I think they played it a day or so ago. He wasn't involved in that matchday squad. He played last Sunday. That's the one they all clipped when he threw the ball in, I think, to the player. So I assume assume makes an ass of you and me, but with the game on Saturday, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an announcement around that. It's a good opportunity to welcome a new player. We haven't done that for ages, get a player on the pitch and welcome them. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's, as I said, it's called I've called it the keeper hokey cokey. You put Victor in, Victor out, in, out. Manson's still about. He did a hokey cokey. Yeah, I mean, we've got just over a week until the Premier League kicks off as well. We've also got just over a week and a bit until the PL2 kicks off as well, with the under-21s. Well, actually, no, tell a lie. The PL2 or the under-21s starts next Wednesday. They play Woking in the National Cup, which is the first game of the season. The Premier PL2 campaign starts the Monday after next, at home to Nottingham Forest. So all the academy shows. We may even do the academy show live that week. I think if I get there early, I could do it live. I might do that, actually. That'd be quite fun. So keep an eye on the channel for that. It might be earlier if I do it live, but yes. And that's it, my friends. As I said, it does seem that things have got a little bit quieter in the last 24 hours in terms of names being linked which always, for me, suggests something's happening in the background. They haven't got time to put out leaks. They haven't got time to put out names because things are working on the background. We know there's I think that the senior source has quoted there's multiple balls up in the air at the moment. And it does seem like that at the moment, particularly in the goalkeeper situation. We know goalkeeper and central midfield are the two areas which we're going to be looking at. It does seem that more and more of our targets are falling by the wayside in terms of moving to other clubs. For example, Tyler Morton signed for Lyon yesterday. Richard Rios is at Benfica, and it does seem Yashari is going to be at AC Milan soon, if not already. And yeah, it does seem to be diminishing. I think what I might do tomorrow is have a look at those names that we've been linked with, and sort of categorise them. I think that really sort of does show the areas we're looking at. I mean, it goes without saying we know the areas we're being looked at, but some actual hard numbers. I love hard numbers. But yeah, don't forget to check out 𝗛𝗛𝗠𝗏 Brown for latest news, reviews, and opinions. And I'll probably see you tomorrow morning. Much love. Bye bye.